First and foremost, I'm going to address the camera glitches I've been having, which I think are exactly that. I think I got it narrowed down to it was the camera I was using. Some of my videos, or one of my last videos, it wasn't picking up the microphone. I'm hoping it's picking up the microphone. Also, it was locking up and it was freezing the video halfway through the video that I was making. So I think I got it down to the camera has just run its course and I need to replace it. So, well, that's what this camera's for. Ryan and I are out here cutting hay. Finally, right? Haven't cut any hay the whole month of August. We are halfway through September. It is September 15th for those of you keeping score at 6:15 at night. And Ryan and I have both of the mowers running. Now, actually, you might have just seen him. Once we get done here, which will be in about an hour, you know, actually we cut this for second cut, end of July. Same way, it was right around 7 o'clock at night we were out here cutting this together. And it's really making a very convincing case for having two mowers. Another wider machine, like, to add on to this one. I like this 735. Unless it really starts to have heart problems, I have no desire to get rid of this. I like it. I like the size it is. I like how versatile it is. It is a 3-point mounted, is it integral hookup style. It just mounts to the 3-point arms. I'm used to it. I can hook and unhook this machine really quick. I mean, 5 minutes and I'm good to go. And that's, you know, by yourself. Ryan is running the Kuhn mower. That is a drawbar hitch style machine where you gotta put the drawbar hitch onto the tractor first and then back up to the mower and hook up. They both, well, honestly, that style, as far as operation, I really don't see how it's any different than this. I mean, you got the versatility. It allows you to turn sharper in the field. The big pro to the drawbar hookup on the Kuhn mower, which no, you're not going to see me do a video directly about it because we have an agreement that I don't talk about the Kuhn equipment, or I don't do videos on it. It's just the way it is. Ryan is the one that does the Kuhn equipment. So it's, you know, I got people ask me why I don't talk about them, and that's literally all it is. It's just we agreed that the Kuhn stuff is Ryan's to talk about. They came to talk to Ryan, they didn't come to talk to me, so, which is the way it really should be. So, as far as the drawbar style hookup on the Kuhn mower, the big pro is you can hook up a single person a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot less hassle. So it's easy for a guy like me to jump in and out of the tractor 2 or 3 times, but if you start looking at an operator like my grandpa, where his hips were bad, his back was, you know, sore and all that, he wants to be able to hook up to an implement and go. So to me, I think that's where the whole hookup designs really shine. We used to run 2 mowers, 9-foot, I can't remember the names right now, but they're the sickle machines, and I'm pretty sure Dad still has nightmares about running them. I never had to. We had that 936 is actually what I started cutting with, and that 4430 of my grandpa's. People ask about the 4430, why it had a chrome stack, and why it was at the farm sale, and I mean, we never talked about it. That's because it was at a different farm. And look quick to your left, hopefully you can see Ryan. I'm gonna go back over the hill and start working on the last field. 2-wheel drive on the 4640 with a 11-foot machine. Hey, Ryan seems to like it. I have not ran that machine yet. Well, but Grandpa actually had me started cutting hay with the 4430 because the 7400 wasn't around yet. It was an alright tractor. It wasn't my favorite. I mean, the 4430 compared to the 4440, I would have rather ran the 4440. Comfort, I mean, the cab in the 4430 was just rougher all around. Dad did go through and he changed out the seat. He changed out, well, all the upholstery was ripped out of it, so he put carpet in it. I mean, he did a nice job of fixing it up. But then it got in the hands of an idiot, and I'll say it, fucking right, it's true. He tore that tractor up, and he should have known better. So that's the case with the 4430. The next year, Grandpa got the 7400, and as always, being a young kid that likes tractors, I radiated right to that 7400, and that pretty much became my tractor. I mean, I cleaned it up all the time, and well, just like the 7600, I always tried to keep it clean. And the 2955, that's what Ryan and I cut our teeth on learning how to drive with. And I liked the 29. Ryan liked the 29. The problem with the 29 is that it was basically a utility tractor that once I went to college for the John Deere Ag Technician program, all of the instructors were basically cussing out the 2955s because they were an unreliable machine. They would break down, engine would need an overhaul by around 7,000 hours. It had the handbrake, like the European style handbrake in the cab, which it didn't bother me, but the 29 was getting where it needed a lot of work. And once we learned that, you know, the 7,000 hour mark for the engine was starting to get concerning, because there you go, good shot at Ryan. The 29 was like 7,300 hours, and we all got really leery about that. So we had the 7400, the 4230, this 2955, the 4020. We had utility tractors for chore tractors. It just turned into more of a spread out the work, disperse the work a little bit more away from that tractor. We still used it, it's just that it didn't get used nearly as much. So this is pretty neat too. I mean, it's not much, but it's the little things in life that make me happy. And it is kind of fun running two machines in the same field like that. You can really knock out the ground. I don't know if you can go back to my last video, I don't know the name of it, but where Ryan and I are doing exactly this, right around a little bit later at night, but because the time change is coming, well, I'd call it the time change, but the sun is starting to set. It pretty much feels just like that last video. Should I talk about the hay? The hay is disappointing. It's had fertilizer for about 45 days ago. We didn't cut any hay in the month of August. It's middle of September. You know, coincidentally, right when I said way back when I wanted to cut the last, or start cutting the last of our hay. So time-wise, we're sitting all right. They're not calling for any rain, which is good. Otherwise, I don't think we would have cut as much hay as we did. We have, well, once we're done here, we'll have everything east of the home farm plus the home farm cut. Then it'll just be everything south of the home farm and southwest of the home farm. When I say southwest, I mean the valley. And that's going to be the last stuff that we cut. And I don't know if and when we'll be able to cut that, because it is a bottom ground right next to the Grant River. And it took 3 weeks of drought weather to get it dry enough where I could get down there and cut everything. Which is probably the biggest thing that's bugging me, is because it was dry enough to the point where I could have went anywhere I needed to, everywhere I wanted. What are you doing, Ryan? Okay. And not worried about getting stuck or cut ruts at all. That's not the case anymore. So the goal is I'm gonna finish here tonight, go down to my place. I have waterways down to my place, which is like a half day gone just cutting that stuff. Some pasture down there, plus I have some waterways and some seeded ground on, well, down towards the Valley Farm. I want to get cut tomorrow. Basically everything that I cut tomorrow will have to be cut with the New Holland rake, just because it's waterways, it's hard to get around with the wheel rake. But the wheel rake is going to shine pretty stinking bright, cutting all of this. Watch out, bud. I do have Calvin with me, by the way. What do I want to do? The wheel rake, that New Holland, or the New Holland wheel rake. The Rhino, I don't remember the number of it off the top of my head, but the 14-wheel Rhino wheel rake. Just tripping over myself now, aren't I? It's going to shine really bright because of all of the hay that we cut today. It's all out, easily accessible, and I think the smallest field is 6 acres, all the way up to 15 acres. And with how light everything is, open the rake up as wide as we can, drop it down, and drive. We were going to ted this stuff originally. We were windrowing it all. But that's just because the field's so muddy, so soft, that the grass, the hay material is insulating the ground well enough that the ground isn't drying out quick enough. So we're windrowing it all, and we were going to ted it out after a day or so, after it had dried out to where the ground was dry. The problem is the stuff is so light. We're going to be tearing the teeth up on the tedder trying to cut this, or trying to ted it out. So honestly, I see Northern Farmer do it, Tyson, where they just pretty much windrow everything they cut, as far as I can tell. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that with this last stuff. Not really typical of us. We don't typically just windrow it with the intention that we're going to bale it because we want to get it as dry as possible, but it's so light that windrowing it, I don't think it's really going to matter. So I want to get this steep stuff cut before Ryan gets down here, because I don't want Ryan cutting this steeper stuff. At least definitely not with that tractor. So, and the ground is soft, so this is where front wheel assist really shines. I don't know how we farmed without front wheel assist. And I know there's guys out there that still don't like front wheel assist tractors. They only like 2-wheel drive tractors. And, I can't quite understand why that would be. So, I'll go ahead and get all this baled up. It'd be nice to be done cutting hay, making hay by the end of the month, because then we can focus 100% of our attention on harvest, which I think is going to be pretty terrible. It's not going to be terrible across everything, but we got the corn damage at 3 farms. You know, this farm in Rockville and the farm in between. It happens, can't deal with it. Well, have to deal with it, but it's just something different every year. What I'm hoping is that we have a wide enough harvest window this year, this go around, that that we'll be able to take our time and do a good job at as good of a job as we can harvesting our crop this year. Because last year it was just a mad dash pretty much from day one. The combine is ready to go. The contour master is fixed. Andrew wants to come. We have the wiring harness, but he wants to come down and set up the combine for on-track so we can use the auto steer, the on-track 3 in the combine this fall. It has some other advantages too that I think I'll have to have Andrew discuss with you guys. But other than that, I mean, if we had to cut combine corn or beans tomorrow, we could. Yeah, I'd much rather get the equipment out early and have it ready to go than pull it out 2 days before we need it, because we've done enough of that in the past too, where I've had my fill of that, and we're gonna keep doing it again. Things pile up and you get busy and you just aren't able to get to it. So I do have my camera mount. I'm kind of done for today. I've cut this how many times just that the ground is so soft that the whole tractor, even the mower isn't running true. But the ground's so soft, the tractor's skidding, and I'm not a big fan of that. Anyway, I want to get some action shots of cutting and everything else and give you guys a voiceover. But I actually got to jump out and make an adjustment. So, with that, thanks for riding along. Hope you guys appreciated it as much as I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. So those of you that have not subscribed, please do. Like, comment, subscribe. I think that's pretty much it. So until next time, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.